Welcome back to the Boy Time channel. Today, the microphones, the glow part 2.
Oh boy, give me a yikes. I want to feel bad.
We've been constantly in good, I think, so.
Yes, I think so. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh. No. I was
Oh,
joking.
jeez. Uh-oh. Okay. I had a pick for every category except for this one.
Oh, well. Good luck
Okay,
then.
well, yeah.
Here we go.
We're going to do the microphones, the glow part 2, famously released on 9/11.
Oh, really?
We're back with another. Actually, this one's in the 2000s. We're back with another music nerd album, I'll say. I feel like this is the natural second album to listen to after listening to In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. Since people seem to like, I don't know, I feel like I hear these two albums brought up in conversation kind of in the same area usually. It's one of those music nerd albums that everybody kind of goes crazy about, and I've heard so much praise for it, but I've just never checked it out. I don't know much about the band. I don't know much about the genre or anything. This is going to be truly like a first reaction in the truest form. So, but I'm excited. This was a semi-yikes because I don't know why I put it as a semi-yikes. It seemed like something that would be a little bit too artsy for Jerry's taste, but we'll see.
We'll see.
My only trivia with this album is that it came out on 9/11, so that's all I got.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah.
I really have no idea what we're getting into at all, so.
Yeah, apparently they have like a ton of like super high rated records. So if I fall in love with this thing, there might be some more coming. But yeah, we got, let me go to the actual album here. I'm not prepared. 20 tracks, hour 6 minutes, long, but not extremely long. So we'll see how it goes. But I guess we'll start with the opener. I Want Wind to Blow.
That's what I say to my girlfriend named Wind.
I wish my name was Wind.
There's no black or white, no change in the light, no night, no golden sun. The sound of cars, the smell of bars, the awful feeling of electric heat. Under fluorescent lights, there's sacrifice, there's hard feelings, there's pointless waste. But there's no hope for me. I've been set free. There's no breeze, there's no ship on my sea.
Right to the wire. I Want Wind to Blow.
I like that one. Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard not comparing this to the Aeroplane Over the Sea, just because it feels kind of similar. Not in like
They're both like got that lo-fi, folky, kind of almost nerdy thing about
a little
it.
bit. Yeah, and we just did that one, so it's just like kind of a double whammy. But I think overall, I kind of like the sound of. I like the start of Aeroplane Over the Sea a little bit better. Just like that first King of Carrot Flowers Part 1 as like your opener is like, all right, I'm in 100%. This one's a little bit more of a slow burn. I mean, it's what, like a minute and a half of vocals and then just kind of like an instrumental outro. Uh, but I mean, I liked the sound of it. It's very chill, very folky. That's kind of right up my alley. But yeah, I mean, it's a fine start. I'm just like, where's this gonna go?
Yeah. I thought that was fantastic. I love, because lo-fi as a genre is very interesting, because I love that the like the actual vocal track is kind of not mixed at all. It like peaks multiple times, but I love it. The guitar work here is amazing. I love when it's like a little bit off kilter. It's not even on beat like the whole time. It's kind of like this, it's kind of like falling over itself constantly, which is really cool. And I like the kind of storm metaphor. I felt like it just like matched the instrumentation a lot. And even with like that noise coming in at the end, I love that. I love noise in music, especially when it's well placed like this. You have this kind of nice and chill instrumental that feels kind of hopeful, kind of depressed, and then you have the noise that really just kind of like brings that contrasting emotion in. It's really, really, really cool. Yeah, really great start. We'll see where it goes from here. We got 19 more songs, so we'll see. It's as an intro, like usually I don't feel like that read as an intro as much as other intros, but at the same time, like that sounded fantastic. So I guess we'll only see where we go from here. Title track on track 2. Good transition.
I took my shirt off in the yard. No one saw that the skin on my shoulders was golden. Now it's not. My shirt's back on. I forgot my songs. The glow is gone. September without a battle. I face death. I went in with my arms swinging, but I heard my own breath. I had to face that I'm still living. My face is red, my blood flows harshly. My heart beats loudly. There's no end.
Down to the wire again. The Glow Part 2.
I have no idea what to think of these songs. Yeah, I just like I like it. Like I liked the general vibe of it. I'm digging the instrumental outros, which I'm not usually a huge fan of. It's not. I mean, it's not like the main thing I'm usually drawn to. I think like artists like Sufjan does those great, and Father John Misty does that a lot on Pure Comedy. Um, so I'm like, okay, I'm starting to like them, and this is I'm like, okay, I'm in it. I'm I'm here, but it's not like I'm like, whoa, that was amazing. It's just like, okay, I'm just kind of in a weird kind of in between right now.
Yeah, I feel like the record's still revealing itself a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was amazing. That was borderline masterpiece for me. I love the seamless transition from the last track. I love the noise. This whole album kind of sounds so far like it is literally a storm, kind of building off of the first track. You have these like really nice things, but you have this noise. You have this like thing underneath that's like kind of bottling up and has like an eerie feeling to it. It's gonna be a lot to take in on this record, but like the feelings I'm just getting from it already are pretty great. Full goosebumps when that instrumental outro fully plugged into place. That was incredible. I'm loving how the instruments are kind of off and there's like missed beats and things here and there. It keeps it interesting and a little bit like kind of intimate and homemade. I don't know. There's just like I don't want to say there's a glow to it, but there's a glow to it. There's something about it that seems so intimate and personal, but at the same time, like transcendent. It's kind of depressing. It's kind of lost. There's just so much happening in it. But so far, fantastic. I still don't know what's happening, but this is great.
I
so
don't know
far.
either. Yeah.
All right, track 3, The Moon.
The whole moon? One song?
I drove up to the city and found a place where you love. I stayed and walked around and stayed up late under city lights. I spent the night next to you and that's where you grew up. Next to you and miraculously woke up in your parents' house. I lied in bed with you. I went back to feel
I'm going to pause it right there just in case.
Probably a
The
good
Moon.
call. I think that's my favorite one so far. Yeah, I think that one's like, okay, it clicked. Just like that instrumental opening, I'm like, oh, okay, and then that complete right turn, I'm like, yes, that's what I need. And it was so chaotic and so fun. that was the most Neutral Milk Hotel one, I think, so
Yeah.
far. I think, and we haven't really talked about the vocalist. It almost sounds like the Neutral Milk Hotel if he wasn't doing the 90s grunge
Yeah, exactly.
thing. It's like, oh, okay. Like,
Mhm.
this really does feel like a kind of sequel to that one that the Aeroplane record. Where it's just like, oh, this is just the 2000s version, where it isn't as, all right, you know,
There's no Anne Frank on this album.
on that too. Just a big elephant.
Yeah, just a big elephant. Yeah, that was fantastic. It's cool, like, hearing the influence from artists that come after this record. Like, he gives me so much of a car seat headrest vibe.
I was thinking the same
Just the
thing.
way it switches up so much, and there's like so many right turns. The lyrics are gorgeous. Again, it's like the singer's got this confidence that he doesn't care if he's hitting the notes or not. It's all just pure emotion, and it works. I love the guitars on this track. I love the horns that come in on the chorus. Those are awesome. Sufjan book right there, just like horns over a chorus. Really grand. I love it. I love the lyrics of this song especially. It's funny because they're kind of buried in the mix a little bit, but I think it works pretty great. Especially like talking about the moon and like how he was like when he was in a relationship, they'd lay and look at the moon and he'd feel like comforted and seen. And then like after they broke up, it's like he stares at the moon and he gets nothing, and all he sees is his own shadow on the ground. It's just like super depressing. But yeah, really, really, really great. Yeah, this is amazing so far.
Yeah. True.
All right. Track 4, Headless Horsemen. Transition, let's go.
I stood there and stared you down, and I walked aimlessly around with a flaming pumpkin head. Oh, what a loss. I miss my closest friend, and now I cling to rocks in wind. It's a precious thing we lost.
Let's go do it again. Headless Horseman.
That one was pretty nice. I liked that one a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with these strings. I don't know what that was. It almost sounded like a ukulele, but I feel like maybe just like one string is just like so loose that like there's just no sound coming from it, and I think that's what that is. Someone will educate me in the comments, I'm sure. But yeah, no, I like that one. It kind of like felt sweet because it was giving me like white girl with a ukulele in her bedroom vibes. But
Just a
I
sad
mean,
boy.
it's a really sad
It's
song
really
though. I was going to like say it's kind of funny. I was gonna say this is its two-headed boy and it's a headless horseman.
Ah.
But I'm like,
I gotta
no,
kill
it
you in the
doesn't
comments.
really sound like that at all. But I was just gonna do a funny bit. Yeah,
Just a
that was
joke.
good.
Yeah. Ow. That was my only note. That was great. That was so good. I think the I miss my closest friend and now I cling to rocks and wind, tying it to the moon and I want wind to blow is just phenomenal. That was the best part of the song right there. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I was thinking like this is Carrie and Lowell level vibes of like depravity and depression, and I'm like, ooh, I have not heard something like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Apparently the person who's the vocalist of this group is also Mount Erie, which made A Crow Looked at Me, which is apparently one of the saddest albums ever written.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that
So
one.
yes. So there's connections here. This makes sense.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I'm finding more out about this stuff as like these tracks are going on, and I'm like digging through the catalog a little bit. But yeah, really great.
Yeah,
We can do a twofer, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll do My Roots Are Strong and Deep and Instrumental.
My roots are strong and deep. I'm swaying in your breeze. My limbs stretch out to me. The things in you just surround.
We've reached the duster part of the album. Let's go. This is what I wanted. My Roots Are Strong and Deep and Instrumental.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Roots Are Strong and Deep. I think that 3-track run was pretty G-dang solid. Every time we get an instrumental interlude, I keep getting my hopes up. I need to realize that nothing is ever going to beat Horn.
It's
by
the
Nick
perfect
Drake.
song.
It might be the best instrumental interlude of all time because everything we've listened to has paled in comparison. But I thought that one was really good. I almost wanted it to be longer because as soon as like it started building up, and I'm like, oh, this is going somewhere, and then it just stopped. I'm like, that's probably the point. But it's like it sounded so great. I wanted it to keep going, but I don't know. I thought those were pretty good tracks.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the point. This whole record is like push and pull between like soft and abrasive, and there's just so much happening here. It's again like Neutral Milk Hotel, where I'm just like, there is so much right here that I can't talk about it because everything is just perfectly where it needs to be. But My Roots Are Strong and Deep is amazing. I love that. A little bit of Duster influence in there. I love the little more spacey kind of vibe it had. I love the feeling that Duster gives in its music, and it's kind of the same thing here. I love the kind of metaphor of him being a tree and then like this girl he was with like being like lava or air or something like that. It's just like complete opposites. One's firm and steady and the other one's like wild and unpredictable. It's just a really cool contrast. And then the instrumental is really great. I love the little bit of psychedelic in there with the guitar kind of panning between the channels randomly. This whole record has a very off-kilter but kind of psychedelic and cool feel to it, which is really awesome. Yeah, it is so good. It's a lot to take on in a first listen, but I'm just like, this is so good right now. So, alrighty, we'll do The Mansion, track 7.
Mansion.
Joe,
Song about Luigi.
Two different directions.
There's no end, there's no glory, there's a slow resounding story. There's no place to feel certain, there's nobody waiting for me. There's no stand of trees, no morning, there's a curve without a warning. There's weird and lasting sadness, there's no large and lengthy warming. I see a fountain, there's a trail over the mountain. There's no wayside, there's no stopping, and the peak is wide and rocky. There's no ceiling in the mansion, there's no waste, no hesitation. There's no crack of dawn, no morning, just an everlasting warming.
Cut it off a little early. The Mansion.
I don't think I have a whole lot to say about that one. I don't know. It's just kind of like that one's just a vibe, you know. It's very gloomy and it sounds very depressing. But I was like kind of intimidated by all the lyrics, so I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to this one.
I'm
And
just like,
then
no.
there's not really a whole lot to do
Yeah.
other than the lyrics. So that's probably my bad. So I'm assuming that you're gonna have a lot to say about this one. So,
A little bit. That just
okay.
the soundscape of that is just like one of the most just like dreadful, like depressive sounds you can probably make in a song. Like there was
Yeah.
no light in that mix whatsoever. But I love the guitars. I love how they kind of built this atmosphere. And for being a lo-fi record, the way that this was recorded, it sounds huge. It sounds empty and it sounds very desolate. And this kind of metaphor of the mansion, of him just being alone in this gigantic mansion, and there's nothing really there. There's no excitement. There's no anything. It's just like he's at a deadlock of emotion. Yeah, it's just really, really depressing, and like, yeah, it just has a vibe that like you cannot shake from this track. But really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that he's doing like 15 seconds of like almost dead air. I kind of like that actually. I like these breakup points in albums. I think this album in particular is going to be a lot better when I listen to it without having to pause at all, because I feel like the vibe of this record is so good already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, we have two somethings. I think we'll do both of them. So we'll have something and
Yeah.
then something one.
Put it in the file. Name the file the same
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
As something one.
Forgot about it. We'll keep her going. I'm in it.
Yeah. Um,
Something one, and I'll not contain you.
I'm going to say something shocking to any long-term viewers. I think Something One is my favorite song so far.
Yo.
I don't know what it is.
We did it.
Sound
Character development.
the character development.
I was so ready to have to defend these two things.
No, I love them.
Awesome.
No, I think anyone who's been either listening to the pretty much anyone who's listening to the podcast, I don't talk about it on here, but I've been getting super into like dark and depressing like horror type movies. Like they've been my absolute jam like the past 6 months or so. And these are like, this is what I like about those things, is that like the atmosphere and everything, how it sounds like death, and I'm like, this is what I like. I want to feel like I'm walking down a hall and there's a scary little girl on the other side with a big knife or something. That's what those songs made me feel. And I'm like, this is nice. I like this quite a bit. I'll not contain you, I could take or leave, but I did like Something and Something One quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Besides, I do like I'll Not Continue quite a bit. But I don't know. I love swans, so give me weird instrumental loops that are really scary and eerie that make seemingly no sense all day. That's my jam. So I love those. I love the breathing space. I love just the feelings of this record are just on display fully, and that's something that I love about Car Seat Headrest too, is like there's no barriers, there's no filters, there's no nothing. Like this is what I'm feeling. And I think those two actually do lead into I'll Not Contain You really well. Where that song, it feels like the record's trying to get its footing and its feet back in place, but the song kind of morphs into this double tracked offbeat fracture of a song, which is really cool. I've never heard anything like that, where he kind of does the double track, but it's like intentionally off, and it just gets worse and worse and worse as the song goes on. So yeah, and then just the lyrics about like forcing yourself not to reach out to like an ex or something just because you want to, and it's like hard to not do it. So I thought those past three songs were really great. I feel like this album has like chunks. I feel like track 1 through 5 are one, and then like instrumentals kind of a bridge, and then the mansion through this all seem very connected too. It's interesting.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, but very, very, very good. This is crazy good. I think we can do another twofer. I'm digging this.
Okay.
We'll do the Gleam Part 2 and then Map. Steel drums. That's awesome.
I'm in the Caribbean right now.
I can
This is
only
what
think
I'm
of
feeling.
I can only think of Wii music when I hear steel drums.
I know you've seen the billowy black. You have been, but I saw what you will see. I saw tiny lights in mountainous peaks. I saw your future in my sleep.
The Gleam Part 2 and Map.
I can't even tell you what the Gleam Part 2 sounded like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the map kind of broke me. Like I think it I don't even know what it was about it. It's like how it sounded. Um I'm just kind of speechless. I don't even know what to say. It just wow.
Yeah, Map might be the best song. I don't know. This whole thing has been pretty flawless, but Map might be the best. We'll talk about pacing then, since I feel like Map is kind of self-explanatory. I was getting a little bit of Radiohead today in Map. It was really strange because it has this kind of like power to it, but it's so mysterious and like otherworldly, where it's like I don't even know what to say about this. But I think Mansion leading up to here, it's like all these songs were desolate and broken and just like really depressing. And then you get this where it's dual vocalists, like it's loud, it's in your face, and it has this kind of like hero's journey build and climax to it that just feels so incredibly rewarding after going through, 12 or so minutes of that like depressing kind of bog of those songs. And getting to this, it literally feels like you're climbing a mountain. It's just so good. And it's not traditional at all. It's psychedelic, it's weird, it's double tracked. There's just like really noisy bagpipes that start the song. It's just all over the place, but man, is that good. The Gleam Part 2. Let me see if I remember anything about the Gleam Part 2. I feel like it was a perfect lead up to this song. That's what I'll say about it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Alrighty. You'll Be in the Air, track 13.
Phil Collins cover? Or?
Ooh. That'd be fun.
In the air, in some hours you'll be over the sea.
He said the thing.
Lost in the other
Over the sea.
Ah!
just move your arms. Then you could tell that you are in the air. You'd feel the yawning gulf grow wider, and you'd smoothly glide over the cold river basin where we spend the night. And again, your gaping gap is pink and foggy light. When I wake up, your pat will pounce on me. I'll meet the day. You'll be in the air. I'll be in your bed when I'm awake. And can you tell that I'm down here? In the air, you'll bear fruit, your bare feet, your bare arms in the heat. You'll be able to feel your mind.
You'll Be in the Air.
That one was kind of straightforward for where we've been. Maybe kind of a little bit of a snap back to reality in terms of tonal stuff. Or maybe it's just a nice little reset after Map. It's like, hey, have just like a nicer sounding one that doesn't make you want to die. Not that it's like, super positive, but it sounds kind of like an indie song. So that's a plus.
Very good.
But yeah, I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah. I love the way this album plays with nature and symbols and stuff like that. It's just like a very human experience. I get feelings of Carrie and Lowell in this thing, just in like there's this like unspoken like connection between artist and listener that's like very close, but it's like hard to describe. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's like whoa. Yeah, it just kind of feels right. Again, it's weird. The vocals are strained. It's all over the place, but at the same time, it's like I can picture like being outside with like a mountain in the background surrounded by trees. It's like there's a very natural feeling to a lot of this. But yeah, I thought the song was pretty good. I'm still kind of like recovering from Map, so I feel like
Yeah.
pacing is probably for that reason. But yeah, good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think we can do another twofer. We'll do I Want to Be Cold and I Am Bored.
All right, now it's a Ramon song.
Let's go. The Ramones wish they could be this noisy.
Yeah.
I wanna be buried in snow. I hope your flames don't grow. I just want to be cold. I don't want you to know. glassy eyes locked in contact on the couch with you. A boring face. We're losing touch. I reached in my extended hand went through. Now we both know what we have to do.
Stop it right there. I want to be cold, then I am bored.
I like I Wanna Be Cold. It's a song I can get down and dirty with.
Real.
As someone who has been boiling alive the last month or so.
Yeah.
I wish I could have played this song the whole time just to get some of that. I don't think it would have done anything, but it would have made me feel better, you know? Like, I want to be cold. I want it to snow so bad.
I used to be a
Those are
summer
lyrics that
person, and summers are so bad now where it's like I'm turning into a winter person.
I've always been a winter bitch through and through. Even though summer's in my blood, frankly.
True.
But yeah,
They'll
you
get
know,
it.
I thought they'll get it. But yeah, I thought that. I mean, those are two kind of. I mean, they're really, really short, but I thought they were pretty good for what they were. Yeah.
Yeah. I like both of those. Not my favorites, but they're good. Again, I love the metaphors of, you know, him wanting it to snow and I want to be cold, and then like her being represented by this flame like that he doesn't want to grow. And again, there's a dichotomy in there. I Am Bored is pretty cool. I like the kind of thing of like, okay, this relationship's done now. What do I do with my life? He's just kind of like, what now? And I love the kind of silence at the end of that track. Just kind of like realizing that that's what has to happen, and it's just like silence, kind of stunned. It's really good. Yeah, I feel like there's so much to take in with this record, especially when you're giving us like these short ones back to back to back. It's going to be one that rewards like a lot of further listening. But I can see this having pretty good replay value because as a full album experience so far, it's the vibe is so similar with every track where it's like it's so immersive. It's like, you know, I'd listen to an hour and 6 album and really get into it rather than like, you know, watch a movie or something on occasion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really great. I Felt My Size, track 16.
Number 16.
Number 16.
The heat from the closeness of me tilting towards the sun was storing up to ignite at night and light. Or felt the dawn, and the night was long.
The doohickey.
You gotta have a doohickey.
Every album needs one.
Wheels on came, I saw it crawl over the hill, and I felt clean and shook my hair out in delight. And my lack of dawn, my one-sided warmth, I just wanted more. But I'm small, not a man, not a man at all. I'm small, we're all.
I Felt My Size.
That one was fun. My favorite MGMT song. This is the prequel to it.
Yes.
Same exact thing. Yeah, no, I thought that one was fine. You know, a fun little rock song in there. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like these last 3 have just been like, okay, I get it. Like they're good for what they are, but it's like I'm not gonna come back to listen to I Felt My Size. You know what I'm saying?
I will. This is one of my favorites of the whole album actually. I like this a lot. I think the lyrics in this one are probably the best on the record, or some of the best. I don't know. He just has like this everything everywhere all at once, like explosion of like how insignificant everything is, and it's just like it sounds perfect to go with it. And I love across the whole album he's been comparing himself to like these massive things in nature, like the sun and the moon and the wind and all these different things he's comparing things to. And in reality he's like, I'm just like a little fire. And he's just like looking out and seeing everything. He can feel the earth moving beneath him. He's looking up at the sky and how endless it is, and it's just like this revelation. Again, I feel like the length of the record and the kind of instrumental journeys it takes you through, it pays off in these moments where it's like he has these realizations and growth steps, and it like really hits you when it happens, because like there is so much build up and you go on the journey with him, which is great. I think that's something concept albums need to do, is like you need to make the viewer feel it, and you need to have a payoff with something like this. So very, very, very good. I like this one a lot. Alrighty. We'll do instrumental 2, and I Felt Your Shape.
Your shape, but I was wrong. Really, all I felt was falsely strong. I held on tight and closed my eyes, and my grip was loose, my eyes were open. I felt your shape and heard you breathing. I felt the rise and fall of your chest. I felt your fall, your winter snows, your gusty blow, your lava flow. I felt it all, your starry night, your lack of light. I wasn't alone.
Instrumental 2, and I Felt Your Shape.
Instrumental 2, pretty good. Instrumental interlude. I don't remember what the first one sounded like because it was an hour ago.
Yeah, I remember being vaguely familiar. I think they're definitely like built off of each other. I remember hearing that a little bit. So
yeah, probably. I Felt Your Shape. Thought it was pretty good. I mean, that felt like it was kind of harkening back to, what was it, Headless Horsemen? With that kind of, I don't think it was a ukulele. Maybe it was, or if they were just like playing really high on
Yeah, I
the
don't
guitar.
know.
That's also kind of what it sounded like. But yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like that. I remember making a comment where it was white girl and the ukulele in a room, and that was kind of the same vibe for that one. Even though this one I think was more sad, if I remember right.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like melancholic because it's actually like kind of sweet, but also like depressing. I think I Felt Your Shape is one of the best songs on the record. I haven't pulled out the masterpiece thing at all yet because I'm still like wondering on a lot of these songs. I feel like I haven't gotten everything out of it. I think this is an album that definitely sticks to you and clings to you after 2 or 3 listens. So I'm like kind of withholding unless something like truly is beyond belief. But I Felt Your Shape is fantastic. I love Instrumental 2 as well. Instrumental 2 again has a little bit of those dusterisms in there. At least that's what makes me feel kind of chilled out, spacey, but still kind of emotional. But I Felt Your Shape, fantastic writing. I feel like we've been spoiled like the past month and a half on this channel because the writing on all these records have been so good.
That's true.
But the song just being about like hugging someone, and like for the first part of the song, like he was just kind of doing it to do it, but like as the song went on, he was able to like feel all the emotions and weight and things that his partner has as like he grows closer to them. It's really sweet, but also really depressing by the end of the song. But the writing there is just incredible. I love the concept of that. That is so cool. Yeah, really good. Alrighty, we got two more. Samurai Sword.
Awesome.
I'm glad we paused before this.
Yeah. I don't remember what the last song sounded like.
Not this.
Now.
You're a powerful dream for a kill. Massive arms, it's down the snow. I've got a little fear, touching your silently. I look down, icy stare.
A minute of nothing.
I hope so. Samurai Sword.
That was loud. To quote Huey Lewis in the beginning of Back to the Future, it's just too darn loud. I thought it was fine, but that's that is not my speed.
Yeah, I need to hear the true transition from the last track into this one without any pausing. 'Cause I feel like that's something you really want to capture, but we did not get that, unfortunately.
No.
I thought it was pretty great. You go from this last song where there's kind of like a bitter sweetness to it, like it's the most sweet song on the record, and then you get this, which is just like a pile of noise. He's like facing the problem head on in the most like insane way possible. With this kind of like, I don't even know if it's like his ex at this point. I feel like it's his mind state towards the situation, like being manifested as a polar bear that's hunting him, and then he has this samurai sword that he like tries to battle the bear with. And I think he fails because the track goes silent, and that kind of repeating, like, I don't know what that is, but that sound, I think that's from Something or Something One. We've heard that multiple times in the record. I don't remember where it started. But I feel like it's a heartbeat. I feel like it's like return to like center. I like the little, I don't know, I was kind of getting, I'm like, ooh, this is like a really slow heartbeat after you just lost this battle. And that makes more sense of what the two Something tracks in the middle of the record are then, because I was not sure what those were representing. So I don't know, this album is so creative and all over the place. I love it. There's like, I love albums where there's so much I can dig into and learn, because I don't know, there's like a whole universe in this thing.
Yeah, it is interesting. Just looking through their discography, they had an album that came out one day later, and it includes a lot of like demos or B-sides from this record. But they have an acoustic version of Samurai Sword.
Oh, interesting.
It's 1 minute long, but I mean, a lot of these, there's like a different version of Map, and it's 1 minute long, or
That might be a
but I
Spotify error, but maybe.
maybe I don't know.
I know Spotify
It's
messes those up sometimes.
possible. I
Who
don't
knows?
know.
Tell
It's
us in
just
the
kind of weird.
comments.
Yeah.
But all right, we got one track left, and it's the Long Boy.
Oh boy.
My Warm Blood, track 20.
It's dark. The sun went down. The power's still out. Oh, it's cold. My blood barely flows. They know my red blood is warm still.
My Warm Blood, and the album.
That song is fantastic.
Real.
I don't know how to describe it. And I kind of feel bad because I feel like even like 6 months ago, I would have been the type of person to just skip that. Um, but this time, like I had the album cover pulled up, had it big on my screen, and like as that was going, like I just have like this feeling in my chest, like this like despair and just those chimes. And as I was just looking at this album cover, I'm noticing like a tons of like weird things about it, and I'm like, what? Like the right ear of the elephant is coming out of his leg, and there's like a little figure in the smoke. And I'm like, oh, what is that? And I'm like, as I'm like starting to notice all these weird things that I never would have noticed before, there's just like this droning chime that, comes in every 30 seconds or something. It was like, oh, it's like an experience I'll never have again. And yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think as a whole, I think I like this album quite a bit. I don't know what happened, but I liked it, I think. This it's such a mystery to me what this is. This is one that's like you know, sometimes you hear people say this is one that requires like a bunch of like re-listens to get. It's like, no, this one demands it.
Yeah.
Like you hear it once and it's like okay, what was that? It's like one of those things where it's like it isn't like someone assigns that to you where it's like you have to, no dude, you haven't heard it unless you've heard it a couple times. It's like the album itself is like you have not got this the whole time, and I think that's kind of brilliant.
Hmm.
um yeah, I'm kind of just like blown away right now. I don't know if I like love the music, but I think just like the vibes and everything have just completely won me over. um yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, this is the stuff I love. I love challenging music that you have to go back to because that's when you get the most reward for what you're listening to. And this album definitely will pay off in that. I can already feel. I think My Warm Blood is a fantastic closer. I love stuff like that where it's reflective, it's like eerie, it's ominous. You have this repeated pattern that's out throughout the whole album, and you get these little bits and pieces of like songs from earlier that pop in and out very quietly in the background. I still going with my theory that this is him kind of dying and just like laying as death kind of just comes. It's like this open void at the end of the album that just like there's tiny bits of life, but it feels like you're just kind of floating in a darkness. Yeah, I haven't had a feeling on an outro like that since like when you buy Godspeed records on vinyl, they have a looping track at the end of it usually. And I didn't know that they had that for two albums, so the album would end and you're just stuck with these two notes that'll go on forever, and it gives you the same exact feeling. It's like, oh my god, especially with their subject matter being as dim as this stuff usually is. But yeah, it's incredible. It is like an experience that like you can't really replicate once you've heard it. It's like, whoa. It's like, all right, this is the beyond the music. This is just like, it does something to you. It's interesting. But this record is phenomenal. I can't pick out favorite tracks or anything. I'm gonna have to listen to it again. But I mean, 20 tracks, an hour and 6 minutes. I was in it the whole time. It felt like it went on forever, but it also felt like it was too short. I love the range on here. I love the more folky stuff. I love the very noisy stuff, and actually the instrumentals and some of the in between ones that were just purely instrumental and vibe based were like my favorites. So, yeah, fantastic. I definitely need to dig into microphones and Mount Erie more. I feel like this is a lane that I never dove into. I was getting there. I just haven't crossed the mountain of this record yet. But yeah, that was definitely worth the wait. That was fantastic. So another music nerd album that's actually lives up to the hype. We're 2 for 2 in the past couple of weeks here. So
Yeah.
very good.
I know they may be annoying, but maybe they know their stuff.
They do know their stuff usually.
All right. Well, I guess we have a wheel to spin.
Oh my god, we do. Don't do this to me. Okay, we're good.
How do you know?
Good.
A little spicy.
Yeah.
This is like you last time. I
Yeah.
had one picked out for
For every category except for this one.
Uh-huh.
You got some
Okay.
good stuff in there.
I think I'm gonna do something that is kind of similar to this. I think I've listened to this album before. It's just been a very long time. I listened to it once, and then I'm like, I think this needs to be on the wheel. I'm gonna go with 1111 Pine Grove.
Let's do it.
All right.
Join us next time. Pine Grove 1111. That's it. After this album, I'm kind of just done. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
like,
he's good. I feel like
Yeah.
I've like it's like rejuvenating, but also like empty. I feel like I just walked out of Everything Everywhere All at Once in the theater, and it's just like, what just happened?
it really is. It's just like, yeah, because there's that sinking feeling. Except like Everything Everywhere has that like bump up at the end. But if it was just like the movie ended at that scene where like where Joy is like, I'm tired, let me go, and it just like it ended at that, that's the feeling I have right now.
Yeah. I don't know. The uplifting thing for me is like, this is gorgeous. I don't know. It's just
No,
like, I
that's
have not
true.
heard something like this ever. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but very good. Join us next week. Hopefully, I don't know. Our schedules have been kind of inconsistent, but stay with us. We're busy.
We're very busy,
Yeah,
but
but we have a podcast if you're interested in podcasts. We talk about stuff.
we do. We talk about all sorts of. We talk about movies and music and politics. It's just what everyone wanted.
Exactly.
So, yeah, if you're interested in those things, head on over. If you like long form content, which I mean, obviously you do if you're
If
this
you're
far
this
in.
far, this is a long album too. This is gonna take a while to edit. I'm not looking forward to this.
Oh no. Well, that's okay. We'll have fun. See, this is the trick. I always pick shorter records.
Yeah, all my
you always
albums
pick
are long. The past like 4 I picked are like an hour long.
Yeah. So
I guess that's what I like though, so it makes sense. But it's just harder to edit and be on camera for this long without like falling apart. So
it's true. It's true.
yeah. Bye.